Welcome
to the most engaging title screen of the SNES library.
Where we only have 2 musical notes that we can alternate between.
Yeah, they're very limited in the first generation. Oh, look, we get to see our acceleration curve. We see our weight. We don't get to see that our pilot is a fat samurai dude, though. I think they hadn't actually... I don't think Captain Falcon existed yet. Yeah, I don't think any of the characters actually existed yet when they made this game. And I think it released in 91.
I don't know. That depends on how much manga they decide to release alongside this game.
Okay, so we're just gonna do a nice and easy cup here. I feel like playing an easy game, and this game is not easy as soon as you crank the difficulty up at all.
Just a real quick 8 ounces.
Yeah, just a real quick, simple 8 ounces. What was I saying again at the top of this?
I
started saying a thing.
Difficulty gets really hard.
No. It was like about SNES. I never called it SNES as a kid. I learned that turn of phrase when I was 17, I believe. I think I was 17.
What did you call it as a kid?
Super Nintendo. We always called it the Super Nintendo.
We always called it the Super Nintendo too.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I can't actually define when I started calling it the SNES.
Oh yeah, I know exactly when. It was when I met our friend Zach through our other friend Claymore, who I just recently reconnected with after a couple years.
Oh yeah.
Because I told him hey, open your Pokemon Go gifts so I can hit level 40, which I did actually. Just
today.
Today, yeah, I hit level 40 today as we record this in late December. But I was like, hey, open your gifts. I want to hit level 40, and the 100 XP I'll get from it will put me over the top. And he did. And so I'm like, oh, cool. Now I have an excuse to talk. And I'm like, hey, if you see me on the Blizzard net, you should...
talk.
You should hit me up, because we have so much catching up to do, and we'll have keyboards there, whereas, on your phone, texting is...
Unless you're really into swiping, or if you have
Oh, I forgot it was 5 laps on these shorter tracks. Yeah. Anyway... What's on your mind today? I actually have a lot of things on my mind.
I was supposed to do a lot more stuff today, aside from sleeping in as of Saturday, but
and helping my mom change her phone plan.
Yeah,
because she doesn't want to be on our phone plan anymore.
It's not that she doesn't want to be on our phone plan. She just wants to be able to
have control,
fix something on her own if something is going wrong.
Yes, she wants control of her account,
and I can't blame her.
Yeah, I can't blame her, because she's constantly needing stuff. She'll lose a phone, and then she needs yours or my permission because we're the admins on the account or whatever the term is.
It's it was a good ride. She was getting
she was with us for what, 6 or 7 years?
And
she was paying very little. That's why we kept trying to convince her to stick with us.
Well, was she actually paying you for the phone? Or?
Oh no, I was paying for it, but it was nominal, and it was like hey, if I ever forget to give you a Christmas or birthday present, I pay for your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I was supposed to do some barking today and
barking. Oh, baking.
Yeah, baking.
Oh yeah, I saw the cookie sheet out, or not cookie sheet, the baking pans.
The game, the mascot.
Oh, you know this tune.
Yep. Bam.
Bam. Bam.
Everyone's
now you have to sync up to that. Good luck.
I'm sure it'll be terribly off sync.
It'll be like an 1/8 of a second off just to aggravate everyone at home.
Just because everyone at home and Jamie knows that we can't freaking sing on key or tune. Also, coupled with the fact that what we're hearing is probably about a 1/4 second off.
Oh, that's a good point. I had a very profound moment today that I want to share with everyone.
Can I finish what I was saying?
Oh yeah, because what I'm going to finish, take the rest of the episode up.
Yeah, I was going to do baking, but the restream that we were doing today for Randomizer went about an hour longer than I was hoping. It was a 2 hour 50-minute game.
Just a hell seed.
It was weird. I'm not going to go into specifics. It was just bad.
Okay. Oh, I should look for a straightaway to use this boost on, huh?
Yep. So instead of doing barking, I was just casting all day.
Oh, you were casting. You weren't even.
Oh no, I was on the restream. It's just I'm still I'm checking in on things. It was the first time with the new overlay that one of my associates, I don't know how we put
cohorts, compatriots.
Cohort compatriots on the Agomo podcast. They made it, and they're really fucking good at making overlays, and it's really nice and awesome. And they do
amazing
a really
that
good
a
job.
Community brries talented people together.
Right. So John, go ahead and finish with your story now.
Okay. So
you just killed that man, by the way.
No, he's fine. I'll talk about that tomorrow. These guys, I need to talk about these guys tomorrow. Remind me.
These guys?
Write it down, yeah.
Okay.
You don't actually have... Well, maybe you should. So, I watched a very impactful video. Our regular viewers will know that we are both big fans of Louis Rossmann, the Mac repair guy. He does more than Macs.
And the misadventures of
that
Louis
guy
Rossmann.
I killed. Yeah. Oh yes, we're as much fans of his misadventures as we are the man himself. But I'm more of a fan of him now, and here's why. He actually changed my outlook on things. And I thank him for it. And I hope I actually get to communicate this to him someday. So, final lap. Ooh, that
power
hurt.
back.
Whatever, you have so many extra lives on easy difficulty. Plus, you don't have to finish first every time. So he made this video, and this is going to be a long story, and it's going to tie back at the end.
Right.
So in the video he made, he did one of his bicycle and talk videos.
Like ranting on his way to work.
Yeah, ranting on his way to or from work while he rides his bike for 40 minutes.
It's, during the day.
Oh, yeah, sorry. And, and it's New York City, so it's dark by 3. The short part of it is, he's moving, he couldn't get a business loan, so money's really tight. He's in fact going in and working long extra hours by himself at his office.
Just to make sure he can get the upgrades that he wants.
Just so he can pay for the construction work he's getting done. Oh, that's even worse. I thought maybe if you timed it just right. So he said, yeah, I'll give you a raise in like 3 months. He said that to an employee, and he was telling the story, and I thought, wow, that's very interesting. So let me take you on a way back, and this will connect pretty quick, and it might not be as long of a story as I thought it was. I worked at a company called Pololu Robotics from late 2008 to late 2009.
And you don't care about saying anymore.
Some people have heard this story. Oh no, I will name and shame. The CEO's name was Jan Malešek.
His birth sign is blank.
He was born in Hawaii. In fact, the name of the company he founded was named after a valley in Hawaii, because he grew up on the Big Island, that he used to go out and fly model planes at. I believe. I could be mistaken on exactly what he did, but him and his best friends used to go hang out in this valley and do stuff. I don't remember exactly. I think
Probably
they
dumb
flew
kid stuff.
I think they flew model airplanes. No, because these were rich kids. He went to
Probably
MIT.
Dumb rich kid stuff.
And the only thing that just separated him in life from me was he was born with approximately $2 million in his bank account. I mean, he wasn't, but his dad gave him that as soon as he started the business Pololu. So I first found out about this company because Star Trek The Experience, where me and Jamie worked I worked there for a couple years, Jamie worked there for about a year, was closing for other reasons. That's a completely different story that you've probably heard me tell on the branch.
I've heard.
Yes, you've definitely heard it on the branch, Amarith.
And off the branch.
Yeah, and off the branch. But anyway, so I was going to... I ended up working there because me and Jamie just happened to meet someone at an anime con that suggested I apply there because she had just quit working there and thought, oh, you would probably be a good fit for this place. And turned me on and gave me a reference, said, hey, this is a cool guy. You should consider hiring him. I thought that was really cool because I just met that girl. Mm-hmm. On the day that I was getting laid off, in fact, because it was the last day of the con because it coincided with Labor Day weekend.
Ah.
And Labor Day weekend was the last day that Star Trek The Experience was open. Anyway.
I still wish I could have gone and checked it out.
Yeah, it would have been cool. It was a cool place. Oops, that was a bad place to boost.
I was just super not into Star Trek yet.
Yeah. I mean, you're not super into Star Trek yet either. You're just into it, right?
Yeah. You know what I mean? I still would enjoy like a con or like a thing.
I can blow my boost
load
right there at the end. Yeah, blow my load right at the end there. Get some healy heals.
Continue the story.
Yes, continuing with the story. He hired me that day, the day I interviewed, which was later that week. I got laid off Monday. I got interviewed and hired on Monday. In fact, they gave me the job offer as me and Jamie were on our way home. I didn't have a car yet from the interview. Felt pretty good. It didn't feel that great that I was only making $10.30 an hour, but I was actually $10.25 is what they hired me at, and then they gave me a raise so they didn't have to pay overtime because I was making just under
the amount
1.5 times overtime. Yeah. Oh, hi guys. Bye guys.
1.5 times.
I win.
Minimum wage.
Yes, I was. That put me. Getting the raise right when I started to 10:30 put me right over 1.5 times minimum wage, which means in the state of Nevada they don't have to pay you overtime just for going over 8 hours in a single day. But they still have to do it for 40 hours in a week because that's the federal overtime law. And state overtime requires that as well. There's a huge wind that pulls to one direction or another here. That's why you see me moving and weird stuff. Yeah, that's the gimmick of this level. And you see how there's those cutoffs? Those are the different variations of the levels.
Oh.
Yeah, so on the harder cups, you have to race on those tracks. Yes. So if you imagine with a horrible death wind here, it's pretty difficult.
I can imagine. So anyway, what's the story?
Yeah, okay, let's continue the story. So, when I got hired there, he said, I'm sorry that the pay is so low. I know we're only paying you $10 an hour, but when you applied, we didn't even have a position open, and we still don't really have a position open. We just really liked you and want you in the company. So as soon as you find a place here and you're making good money, we'll bump you up to $12 or $14 an hour like we're paying all the other non-college graduates here. And, you'll get along. And
it'll be great and happy and hunky-dory.
Within a month or two, I had found my place because one guy quit and I sort of replaced him. Two of us replaced him because we multiplied output by something like 6-fold between the two of us from the one guy. We were each about 3 times as productive as him. He didn't try very hard. It wasn't that we were whiz kids. It was that we were whiz kids. But he was also a pretty lazy dude that didn't do a whole lot. He was very slow, took his time, and everyone was fine with that. Nobody ever questioned him. And I honestly think it's just because he was this dude in his 50s that didn't care that much and he could tell people to go fuck off. And I was a young, early 20-something that really needed the job to survive. So I took a lot of crap. When I worked there, they were incredibly abusive. Things like, it looks like you're moving in slow motion. Boy, could you just move your hands a little fast? They would say things like that. My bosses, the owners of the company, my manager, well, supervisor, not really manager, they would say things like this to me.
Fucking horseshit.
It gets worse because I was more than twice as productive as anyone in that building had ever seen an employee at the stuff that I did. The main thing I was doing was circuit board inspection, and I've talked about this before, and I was just a whiz at it. I had the eyes for it, and I was a hard worker. I just kind of found a thing I was talented at. Oh well, if I don't get first place. And yeah, so I waited an entire year before I said, Hey, Jan Malashek, CEO of Pololu, that said I would get a raise after 3 months. Could I get that raise now? And he said to me, and keep in mind,
silence?
Keep in mind that I had other opportunities that I passed up to work at this company, and they convinced me that I was getting on the ground floor, and one day I would be making good money, and I would probably be some level of management because I looked like just such a smart guy, and boy, was he blowing smoke up my ass and proving that I was not a smart guy. Because when I asked him for that raise a year later, point blank, he said, well, you see, I could do that, or I could just hire someone for $1 an hour or less for $9 an hour that doesn't speak English too well. I was very offended by that because before I went and asked for this raise, I went and I calculated my value to the company. It was really easy. One thing that this company was really great at was tracking things like parts and inventory and how much work each person got done.
How much you were doing.
Like they just had really good in-house software designed from the ground up that just started including more and more things. Like half the company ran on this system. In fact, they called it System. Well, System 2, presumably because it was the second version.
Right.
And, I was able to basically prove on paper that I added approximately $250,000 a year to the company, value-wise. And it wasn't just because I was very productive. It was also because I brought a lot of really good ideas to the company. My first month there, I said, oh, hey, here's how you can drop 25% off of your shipping costs forever. Well, your shipping department,
by doing this.
Yeah, by doing this, or shipping labor. I cut out a quarter of their shipping labor costs. My first month, second month there. And I would, like, me and the other people, oh no, I have to do this race again. Me and the other people that started there about the same time, we really brought the value of the company up. And it was frustrating because there were people making $15 an hour that had no idea what they were doing at all. There was a girl that was hired because she had a bachelor's degree. She didn't know how to touch type. In the year of our Lord 2009, well, not our Lord, some people's Lord, 2009, this woman got hired and was being paid more than me, and she didn't know how to type. Yeah, like Hunt and Pecker. a bad Hundenpecker is how she started. And they literally paid her to learn to type on the clock, and they were only paying her $15 an hour. Just like they were all making $15 an hour. Difference being they were all independently wealthy and stakeholders in the company that were going to make a lot of money when the company went big. And the company has gotten kind of big. I was employee number 14 or 15. Mm-hmm. They are now up to approximately 70 employees, 70. Let's take the long route. I seem to be having a hard time going through those through those mines.
Just getting pinball.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna do that well on this race.
Probably not.
Yeah, I know. No. I gotta finish up the story. We can. It's gonna be It's just gonna be a little bit longer.
Okay, we'll get it on with it.
So, I ended up leaving that company for the apprenticeship that I told them I had lined up that was going to start me at $15 an hour and just go up from there. And I said, all I need to stick around is $15 an hour. $15 an hour, Jan, and I will stay with this company. I think it's going places. I believe in it. And he basically told me to get fucked. I've told this story on the branch before. 18 months later, I showed up because I made a prediction when I quit. I said, in 18 months, the 4 people you have hired will have. They did hire 4 people to replace me. They hired 4 people to replace me, and I said they'll be up to where 2.5 of them will have replaced me in 18 months. I was correct about that, and I was even correct about the growth of the company because once those people started, once those 4 people's output started exceeding my 1 person's output, they realized, oh, it turns out we were massively underserving our market, and people want our stuff, and we were making half as much stuff as we could have been to sell out every single day of the week.
Like, if they had hired more people to do exactly your job, they would have been making way more.
Because basically, our customers didn't want to backorder stuff. They wanted it now. And we would just be out of stock of everything constantly. And the customers didn't want that.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So, point being, do you see where this tied back? I went on a long rambling rant, like this long rambling level. But does it make sense there? Does it tie together? So, Louis Rossmann tells his employee,
hey,
in about 1 to 3 months, I'm going to give you a raise when I can afford it. And you know what? I believed him. I believed him. And you know when the last time I believed someone, when they said I'm going to give you a raise in a few months? Was when Jan Malishek, CEO of Polar Robotics, said he was going to give me one after a few months. And I believed him. And he just destroyed that trust. And I finally can trust an owner of a business and a boss again. And it's been 10 years. And it's nice to know that I'm actually finally over it.
That it took 10 years to restore that.
Yeah, well, like part of it is the lessons learned now have a greater value of what I would have made working somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like the improvement to my life of having that life lesson has now sort of made it there. And I've had time to heal and think about it and reflect. But yeah, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, Louis Rossmann, you are an awesome guy. And today you made my life better. And I hope you
fuck you, Jan.
Yeah. So next time on the branch, or wait, not next time on the branch, Amarith. Let's end it with, I hope you've learned something.
Okay.
I swear by the beak upon my face, I will stand and fight for the maverick cause. But tonight we wait for the hologram of Santa Claus.